Tim Cowlishaw from Around the Horn, Dallas Morning News, joining us from Chicago, ready to take off, fly back to Dallas. Do you now proclaim the Cowboys are back, Tim?
I've probably proclaimed they're back until DeMarco Murray just has to be scraped off the field after his 400th carry. But they looked like they're back against a kind of iffy Bears team last night.
But after that loss to the Eagles, where do you think this team was, even the fan base, on looking at, were they a big-time team?
Fan base was pretty frightened or resigned to going back to what they were, or a little bit better than what they had been. I don't think anybody thought they were going to go all the way to 8-8, but a lot of folks last week thought they would miss the playoffs. Still a good chance they miss the playoffs if they don't beat the Eagles this week, because they got the Eagles and the Colts back-to-back. And, they got to get beyond 10-6. I think they got to get to 11-5 to be a wild card. So it looks a little better last night. Romo moved around a little, and DeMarco did his thing.
But I'm wondering about Romo's health. In that Eagles game, I thought there were times that he could have run the ball. The old Romo would have. Now he's just an old-looking Romo. How healthy is he?
I would say not very. I would say the encouraging thing for Cowboy fans would be the play last night, where he managed to roll out to the right and not only get out of trouble, but make a really nice throw to Beasley, and Beasley dived in for the touchdown. But he's not going to – he's a little slow to scramble out of trouble, and so if the Eagles get pressure on him again, I think you may see some of those more plays where he's resigned to taking a sack before he gets hit.
Romo have broken ribs?
I don't know if they're broken. I don't think they are. He's had that before. The lung thing. He's wearing a rather large undergarment there, so I don't know exactly what he's got going.
Wait, is it officially called an undergarment?
Well, that's what we're going with. That's the technical word, Dan. I can't explain it to you.
Well, why don't you? Can you go up and hug him and then listen and hear if he winces?
Yeah, we haven't been in hugging position for 4 or 5 years, but I'll give it a shot if they beat the Eagles.
We spent a lot of time yesterday talking about MVP, and we were talking about J.J. Watt and Aaron Rodgers. DeMarco Murray, what would it take for him to be the MVP this year?
Well, I think if they're a wild card team, say, even if they don't win the East and they're 11-5, and people look at it and say, in this era where everybody's throwing the ball, he rushed for 1,900 and whatever, and right at this moment, he's got his lead over Bell is over 550 yards. So he's off the charts compared to any other running back. Now, other running backs have been minimized, I realize. So, if the Packers go 13-3 and the number one seed, it's probably going to him. But I think Murray's in the discussion if you're talking about top 2 or 3.
He's the best panelist on Around the Horn, and he'll tell you that. He's Tim Cowlishaw of the Dallas Morning News, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. What was going on with Dez Bryant on the sidelines fourth quarter? He was yelling at one of the coaches.
Yeah, we saw that. We're up in the press box. We saw it on TV. There's seldom any rational explanation for what Dez is doing. He's motivating the team, Dan. He's being positive. He's trying to
he is, huh?
make sure things are in order for the next series. That's our story. We're sticking with it.
Yeah. He's great for morale. I know that from personal experience. All right, who goes further? The Cowboys, TCU, or Baylor?
Oh, excellent question. I still think Baylor is going to. I think Baylor's going to beat Kansas State, and they're going to jump into the top 4. Now, that's going to upset the TCU folks, but I just don't think when they sit down and discuss it late Saturday night, two teams with the same record in the same conference, and one of them won the head-to-head, I don't think they can go the other way. So that would get Baylor to January 1st. But now if the Cowboys make the wild card, they'll be playing about January 3rd or 4th. And Baylor would have to win to get to January 12th. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Safe travels. Always good talking to you.
Thanks, sir.